Hello, and welcome to the Honeywell Data Link Services webinar. My name is Brandon Burton, and I am with Honeywell's Flight Technical Services. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that a recording of this webinar will be located on Honeywell's Global Data Center's website and will soon be available on the new Honeywell Pilot Gateway. Please visit www.mygdc.com and select Pilot Services to view this webinar as well as other training materials. The agenda for today's webinar will answer the following questions. What is data link? What data link services are available? What are the upcoming data link mandates? And what data link equipment is available? Data link is a generic term that encompasses different types of data link systems and subnetworks. Each of the items listed on this slide are the components that create the data link system. Whether the data being transmitted through the system is an air traffic control clearance, message to dispatch, or even the uplinking of a flight plan to the aircraft's flight management system, the data is all being transmitted through similar infrastructures, and the differences lie in how each of the messages are routed. The first service that we'll look at is a popular subject, which is Controller-Pilot Data Link Communication, or CPDLC, which allows for the exchange of text messages between aircraft and air traffic control instead of using voice. This can be especially helpful when operating in oceanic or remote areas and even in congested airspace. Pilots can request and/or acknowledge changes to aircraft speed, altitude, and route using standard ATC phraseology or standard text messages. This functionality is usually integrated into the FMS software or a communication management unit and may utilize SATCOM and/or VHF data radio. Today, there are primarily two data link networks that support CPDLC operations. The Future Air Navigation System 1A, or FANS 1A, was introduced in the 1990s and was primarily developed as a means for airline dispatch to communicate with aircraft using text messaging. The system has evolved to allow for direct communication between aircraft and air traffic control and is widely used over oceanic and remote areas. FANS also supports Automatic Dependent Surveillance Contracts, or ADSC, which gathers data from the aircraft's sensors and avionics systems and provides air traffic control with automatic position reports. The Aeronautical Telecommunications Network Baseline 1, or ATN-B1, is another type of data link network. It is more commonly referred to as PMCPDLC or Link 2000+. The ATN-B1 system utilizes VHF Data Link Mode 2 ground stations, which offers more robust processing, which reduces the likelihood of misdelivery and confirms that a message has been delivered without loss of integrity. This is a side-by-side comparison of the FANS 1A and ATN networks. There are a number of differences between the two networks, the first being the regions that they are used. FANS 1A is widely used in oceanic and remote airspace due to the fact that the network utilizes satellite and ground-based communication systems, and HF radio is the primary backup. The ATN network is used in continental airspace and only utilizes VDL Mode 2 ground stations, leaving VHF radio as the primary backup. Another difference is that FANS supports automatic dependent surveillance, but ATN does not. Both FANS and ATN are data link networks that support CPDLC, however their speed, utility, and equipment requirements are vastly different. This is a FANS 1A and ATN coverage map. The brown shading depicts areas where FANS 1A is currently available, and the green shading over Western Europe depicts ATN network coverage. Besides operators needing to equip their aircraft with hardware that is capable of connecting to the FANS and ATN networks, there are a couple of other items that are required to utilize CPDLC. For U.S. operators, an OpSpecs or LOA is required. For international operators, it varies by state of registry. Applications for operational approval for the A056 LOA must address the following: airworthiness substantiation, which is AFM documentation, areas of operation, MEL requirements, flight crew training, and maintenance procedures. If your flight department has questions or needs assistance applying for your CPDLC letter of authorization, Honeywell's Go Direct services can assist. In addition to CPDLC LOAs, the Go Direct team can also assist with R&P AR operational approvals. For more information, please contact the Go Direct team at fts@honeywell.com. Another item that is required to access CPDLC is having a data link service provider, which is a great segue into the next service available via data link. In order to access the data link networks previously discussed, operators need to have a data link service provider. Honeywell's Global Data Center offers data link services that connect aircraft to the fans and ATN networks and provides the gateway for CPDLC. The Global Data Center also offers other data link services, which includes the ability to uplink flight plans to the FMS. Customers who use the GDC for data link services have access to a wide range of flight planning tools that help reduce the flight crews and dispatchers' workloads. Pilots also have access to pre-departure clearances and both westbound and eastbound oceanic clearances offered by Shanwick and Gander Oceanic Control. The GDC also offers a full complement of text and graphical weather services available to the flight deck. Text messaging between the flight crew and operations personnel is another available feature, which allows for crews to coordinate ground services while the aircraft is en route. There are two data link mandates that operators should be aware of. One impacts the North Atlantic and the other impacts Europe. We'll start by looking at the North Atlantic mandate, which requires aircraft to be equipped with FANS CPDLC that includes ADS-C capability. The first phase of the data link mandate was effective on February 7, 2013, which designated two core tracks of the North Atlantic organized track system between flight level 350 to 390 as FANS-equipped routes only. The next phase will be implemented on February 8, 2015, which expands the FANS requirement to the remaining tracks between flight level 350 to 390. December 7, 2017, the mandate will expand to the entire NAT region, and the final phase in 2020 will include all M&PS airspace above flight level 290. Now for the ATN mandates in Europe. There are two different timelines because Eurocontrol is exempting aircraft that were equipped with FANS data link systems prior to January 1, 2014, which means if your aircraft was equipped with FANS data link prior to January 1, 2014, it is exempt from the mandate to upgrade with ATN equipment for the lifetime of the aircraft. If your aircraft did not receive FANS approval, the mandate requires a retrofitted system be installed and operational prior to February 7, 2015 in order to operate above flight level 285 in Europe. Eurocontrol is allowing exemptions to the ATN mandate. As previously mentioned, aircraft equipped with FANS capability prior to January 1, 2014 are exempt from the ATN mandate. Aircraft that are at least 20 years old and will cease operations before December 2017, flight test, delivery, and maintenance flights, as well as state aircraft are also exempt from the mandate. Additionally, an aircraft type may be exempt by formal application by the aircraft manufacturer. The hyperlink at the top of the slide is for the Eurocontrol's Link 2000 program and is a great resource in determining if your aircraft qualifies for exemption. On the site, there is a Data Link Services implementing rule which contain lists of aircraft types that have been granted exemption by formal applications by the aircraft manufacturers. There are currently two lists available. First decision, released May 2011, and second decision, released December 2011. A third and final list is expected to be released in the near future. The United States Datacom project is not a mandate, but is the FAA's implementation of data link services over the FANS network. Testing of departure clearances has been underway since last year, and full implementation may occur in 2016. Future expansion to include center check-in, altitude clearances, as well as airborne reroutes may be available as soon as 2019. and further expansion is expected to occur starting in 2023. So what data link equipment is needed? In most cases, aircraft that haven't been recently manufactured may need to have a few components installed or upgraded to gain access to fans and/or ATN CPDLC. This list is not inclusive to any particular type of aircraft, but are common items that need to be upgraded for CPDLC capabilities. They include FMS software, CDU or MCDU, data link communication device, which may either be Honeywell Communication Management Unit, CMU, or Honeywell Communication Management Function, CMF, VHF data link radio antenna, if installing a fan solution, SATCOM, cockpit voice recorder with a data link recording, and an optional cockpit printer. As previously mentioned, the Communication Management Function, or Communication Management Unit, is one of the components that is needed to gain access to CPDLC and data link services. Most of the newer generation aircraft with Primus Epic avionics are equipped with the Honeywell CMF, which can provide services to both the fans and ATN networks. The CMU Mark III has been designed as a retrofit option for fielded Honeywell Avis DMU equipment and offers fans capability and is available today for some aircraft types. Honeywell is currently in the process of developing a retrofit ATN solution. The following aircraft have upcoming fan solutions which will be released in the near future. For the Gulfstream G5, fourth quarter 2014, for the Gulfstream G4, G4SP, Falcon 900EX, and the Falcon 900C during the first quarter of 2015, and the Falcon 900A and Falcon 900B during the second quarter 2015. For more information, please send an email to fts@honeywell.com. As mentioned earlier, the Global Data Center Data Link Services can fulfill your data link service provider needs and supports all Honeywell and most other avionic manufacturer data link systems. Additional information and guidance pertaining to CPDLC data link can be found in the listed documents. Advisory Circular 120-70B, Operational Authorization Process for Use of Data Link Communication System, and the Global Operational Data Link document. If you're interested in upgrading your aircraft or have any questions regarding the availability of service or equipment, please send an email to fts@honeywell.com and please include your aircraft's information. Type in serial number, the product you're interested in, and your contact information. Thank you for attending the Data Link Services webinar, and I hope you found the information useful.